Hey, this is Edward from VideoPlasty, and welcome to another tutorial video where I'm gonna show you how you can create those amazing, engaging, animated videos that are called explainer videos by using a software that comes pre-installed with your Mac. And we're talking about Keynote, obviously, because you already clicked on the title of this video. The cool thing about Keynote is that it comes pre-installed. It's absolutely amazing, and you know, it's free basically. You don't have to pay anything extra to use it. If you're a Windows user, I'm sorry, you don't have Keynote for Windows, but no worries, you can use PowerPoint to do the exact same thing. There is a PowerPoint tutorial as well, so be sure to check that out too. All right, so let's watch this short little video that I made for this tutorial. My purpose with this tutorial is to show you the entire process and concept. I don't want to spend a lot of time on you know, choosing the exact colors and you know, the background and the font and everything, and like filling it up with like a lot of details. I just want to show you how easy it is, so you can like start getting ideas, and then when you make a video for yourself, you can just work much more on the specific details to make sure everything looks absolutely fantastic. So let's have a quick look at this video. This is Edward in a very generic video animation. He's working super hard to protect you from evil forces. So whenever you go online on the internet, open an email or download some files, you are protected from evil hackers that are trying to steal your information by literally phishing your username and password from your laptop. Okay, that looks pretty good and pretty fun. So let's see how we're gonna do that today. As you noticed, the voiceover in the video is mine. I just wanted to record a quick one just for this tutorial. And you also notice that there is no music. The reason why there is no music is because Keynote is not very good at mixing the music track and the voiceover. And when I tried to do that, the music was just very loud, and there was no way to lower the volume for the music. But no worries, I'm gonna make another video on how to do a mix between your voiceover and music, and I'm gonna post that a bit later. All right, so you know, if you're here, I hope you already have a script ready for your video and you know, a voiceover, because we obviously need one. And be sure you never skip your storyboard step, because I used to do that on my first couple of videos. And when I started adding storyboards, my videos were just 10 times better. All right, so let's just start a new Keynote presentation. So I already know from my preparation and from the storyboards that my video is going to consist of 5 slides, so I'm just going to go ahead and create some new slides. I'm just going to use this template for now because I kind of like how black looks, but you know, you're free to spend a lot of time to choose colors and see what works with your video. So what are we going to use in this tutorial for the animation is we're going to use GIF files, and those are just basically animated videos. You can find them pretty much all over the internet, but if you're looking to get like really good ones, you gotta search for stock GIF files. Like this one, for example. You can get characters doing all sorts of things like waving their hand and stuff like that. They come with a transparent background, so you can use with any color. So as you can see here, you know, it doesn't have a background of its own. And if we go to the, let me see, to the document, I can just change it to whatever. Oh, this looks really bad. And the background is still transparent. So that's really cool. Those are the higher quality ones with like cartoons and icons and stuff like that. And especially with a transparent background, you most often have to pay for them to purchase them from stock GIF websites, but we'll get to that in a minute. All right, now let's just make the background back to black. Yeah, the cool thing about those is that they're really high quality and you don't have to worry about, you know, actually animating a character, because as a person who's worked with animation for the past like 10 years almost, I'm telling you, it's not that easy. So the easy way to do that is to just get something that's already pre-animated, and that makes this whole thing very easy. Another thing you want to do is we want to change the format of our Keynote into widescreen. So for that, we have to go here on the right corner where it says document, and on slide size, I'm just going to change that to widescreen. There you go. That is done. All right, so for the first slide, I have this character just waving his hand, and you can add some text as well. It's up to you what you want to do for each slide, depending on your storyboard and the creative direction you want to take. So I'm just going to say meet Edward. Yeah, that's, I know, very original name. I couldn't think of a better name, just use mine. All right, oops. So for this one, I'm just going to select all of it because I want to make it a bit larger. All right, should be fine. Let's just, I don't know, change the font to something else like Open Sans. I really like that. Anyway, just play around with it. It's gonna take a bit of time to get everything right. Make sure the things are aligned perfectly, like centrally or whatever, and the whole composition feels balanced. So in the next one, according to our script and voiceover, the person is working really hard. So I'm just gonna use this drawn serious at work loop. And I'm just gonna drag it here, make sure it's central, drag the corners to make it a bit larger. Again, align it so it's central. You wanna spend a bit more time with that. I'm just gonna make it real quick because I don't wanna make this tutorial very, very long. Let's see, in the next slide, we used a couple of icons. So I'm just gonna select all three of them and drag and drop them here. Okay, oops, kind of messy. You know, just resize them, make them smaller. Now, of course, you want to spend a bit more time than I'm doing right now to make sure they're all the exact same size and aligned, you know, perfectly on the center with like balance space between one another. Like you can see, oops, there you go, like that. But this one is a bit large, so it has to be smaller. You know what I mean? But you can do that on your videos. I mean, you definitely have to do that. All right, in the next couple of slides, the last two slides of this video, we just used the criminal character. I think this one, stealing password loop. Drop it here, bring it a bit down. And for the last one, we used criminal phishing loop. Drop it here. Great, there you have it. All right, for the last two slides, what we did is we wanted to spice things up a little. So I changed the background to something like this orange, just to, you know, give it a bit of a little something, make it a bit more dynamic. Okay, so it's already starting to look like something that looks more like a video. It currently has no animation and no voiceover. So when you have all the design elements in place and everything is good to go, the next thing you want to do is add the voiceover. So let's see where we can do that. All right, so to add a voiceover, you're gonna go here on the right where it says document and just go to the audio tab. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna drag and drop this file here to there, and there you go. So now if I play back the slide, it's going to play with a voiceover and I have to manually go through the slide. So let's give it a test. This is Edward in a very generic video animation. He's working super hard to protect you from evil forces. So whenever you go online on the internet, open an email or download some. All right, it kind of looks like a video, but not really. It's all very static. And if you're familiar with any presentation software, you know you have to press click for the next elements to appear or to start animating. In our case, we want the GIF files to start animating not on click, but as soon as the slide begins. So we're gonna do that for each individual item. Okay, so and we're also gonna add a start animation, like a build-in. That's how it's called in Keynote. So with this selected, my character here, I'm just gonna go here in the middle where it says animate, and I'm just gonna select. Let's see. I really like the simple ones. You can play around with all of them, see what you like. But for me personally, simple is always better. So I'm just gonna use move in from left to right. I like that. A bit of bounce, make it, I don't know, like a bit longer, I guess. And I'm gonna do the same thing for the text, move in. But at this time, I'm gonna select it from right to left. And then now, when we're done with the slide, you're gonna wanna go to build order. So for the first one, I want the start of it to be triggered by the transition. So as soon as the slide starts, I want this to start as well. And then for the second element, which is the text right here, I want the start to be triggered by the same thing. So with build 1, which is basically this one. This is build 1 and this is build 2. All right. Let me see. I think you can, yeah, we can preview that. Let's see. There you go. That's super nice. Basically, the first one starts with the transition, which is like as soon as the slide starts, and then the second one as soon as this one animates. So they basically animate together. And we want to do the same thing for the other ones. Again, select it. Here on the animate, just add move in. I want this one to come from the top. Again, build order after transition, and let's preview it. There you go. It's probably kind of fast. Can make it a tiny bit slower, I guess. And then you want to do the same thing for the rest of the slides. However, when you have multiple elements like this, you might want to time this first one. Actually, let's just add the animations and then we're going to talk about the start of it later. So again, move in and let's just say bottom to top for all of them. Move in, bottom to top, and same for this last one. All right, now when we go to the build order, however, we want the first one to start after the transition. So when the slide starts, we want this icon to already appear. However, we want the last two icons, so those, the second one and the third one, to be on click, because we're gonna have to do this manually when we rehearse the timings to make sure we time them perfectly with the voiceover when the voiceover finishes talking about this first icon. Oh, shut up. It can then continue with the animation for this one, and when the voiceover mentions download, it can show this icon. So again, leave them on click and the first one after transition. So now let's move to the fourth slide. I'm gonna add the same thing, move in. I just like this animation. It's really good, really simple, does the job super well. So I'm just gonna say bottom to top. Again, build order. You want this to start with the transition. Cool. And for this one, same thing. Move in, bottom to top. I mean, it's up to you. You can play around, try different things, but I'm just, you know, showing you what works really well. Of course, you can spend a lot more time to fine tune all the animations and all the details. And I actually suggest you do that, but I don't want to bore you with like all the details. I just want you to understand this on a concept level, and then you can spend the time yourself to do that. Also for, let me see, for this slide, because it's just a change in background, I think it would be really nice to add an actual transition from one slide to another, not just like suddenly appear. So let's try that. All right, add effect. So I'm just gonna say push. I really like push like that. Oh, this is actually, no, it's not this one. I'm just gonna hit edit, undo. On this one, add an effect, push. And as you can see, it just pushes the whole slide, and I think that's really nice. I'm just gonna do bottom up. All right, let's see how we can preview that. Yeah, there you go. Super nice. And you can do this for all the slides. It's up to you. Personally, I also like to have like just the start animation, have all the elements appear and then just like suddenly disappear and start with the next slide. But you can add an end animation as well, or like some form of transition from one slide to another. So just for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just gonna do push for all of them because it's super easy and super nice and it just works really well. All right, now let's have another look and see how this whole thing feels like. This is Edward in a very generic video. Oops, you have to start on the first slide, sorry about that. This is Edward in a very generic video animation. He's working super hard to protect you from evil forces. So whenever you go online on the internet, open an email or download some files, you are protected from evil hackers that are trying to... Alright, get a point. It's already starting to look very nice, but in this particular slideshow, I had to manually click next from one slide to another. So what we want to do now is we want to set the actual timings so that Keynote knows exactly when to move to another slide or have those icons appear. So the way you do that is you go here to play and go to record slideshow. So here in the record tab, I'm just going to mute the microphone because I don't want to record a voiceover narration. I already did that separately, and I recommend you do that separately because if you record a voiceover with something like Audacity, you can clean the background noise and do a couple of things in post-production to just make it sound much better, which is something you cannot do in Keynote. All right, so when you are ready, you just hit this record button and make sure you navigate through the slides at the right time. Don't worry if you don't get this perfect the first time you try it. Just do it a couple of times and see if you get it right. It's gonna take like 2, 3, maybe 4 times. Doesn't matter, it's short anyway. So let's go ahead and do it. This is Edward in a very generic video animation. He's working super hard to protect you from evil forces. So whenever you go online on the internet, open an email or download some files, you are protected from evil hackers that are trying to steal your information by literally phishing your username and password from your laptop. All right, when that is finished, you gotta hit the button again and to stop recording. And as you can see here, we got like specific timings for each slide. So just click the X button to exit this. And now we're good to go. Now, for example, to make sure you got everything right, you are going to hit the play button and play the recorded slideshow to see. This is Edward in a very... I'm not gonna play it to see if the timings are right. All right. So again, if the timing is not right, you want to go again to play, clear recording, record slideshow again to do the timings again. And once you get that right, now it's time to export the video. And in Keynote, it's super easy to export it. I'm just going to go here to File, Export to, select Movie. And here on the playback, you want slideshow recording. You don't want self-playing. Because on the slideshow recording, you just told Keynote the exact timings for each slide and for each element. If you remember in the slide with the icons, you have specific elements that you want to appear on like the perfect timing with the voiceover. So that's why you want to do slideshow recording. For resolution, I suggest you do 1080p, which is like full HD. And then you click next and I don't know, just save it. Keynote, export video. And there you have it. All right, so that is how you make those super engaging animated videos using Keynote. It's super easy to do, but the method that I showed you that makes it super easy is by using GIF animations. And you can find them online in all sorts of places. But if you're looking for really high quality ones, that are made specifically for this type of video, I suggest you go to VideoPlasty.com. And yes, full disclosure, I own VideoPlasty. And I started VideoPlasty because there was absolutely no other resource online where I could find those GIF files for PowerPoint presentations and explainer videos and stock animation and all that cool stuff. So I wanted to create a marketplace dedicated exactly for this. So you can find a lot of GIF animations like icons and all sorts of like different categories. Here we have the latest ones like video game icons and marijuana icons or whatever. We also have a lot of different characters like a criminal pack, as you can see here, like corporate man, education characters, fitness, medical characters and stuff like that. All right, so that is about it for this tutorial. This was Edward Stinga. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next video.